Hi guys, it's Aurora. It's week 5, I believe. Wow, we're on week 5 of Emet's. This week's topic was to conduct interviews with people in our family for about our emetophobia, but unfortunately the only person that I could interview isn't really into cameras, so I'm just going to come up with a filler topic this week, and I believe I'm just going to discuss how emetophobia affects my relationships with others, and I guess just an update on how my phobia has been lately. Emetophobia affects my relationships in ways that I tend to avoid certain places and situations, such as going to people's houses if they've been recently sick, or going out a whole lot. My emetophobia hasn't been too bad lately. Yesterday I went over my husband's friend's house, and they had been sick recently, but I still went anyway, but they hadn't been like throwing up or anything, so I thought it would be okay. I'm just sort of specifically afraid of certain germs like the stomach flu or the norovirus, but if they've got like a random fever or respiratory flu or like bronchitis, I'm not really bothered by that. I know it seems a little bit silly, but if you're an emetophobic, you'll probably understand what I mean. I also went out to eat today at a restaurant with my husband, and I guess that's headway. I mean, I guess I know that my phobia is not too bad if it's not controlling every single aspect of my life, but sometimes it does when it gets really obsessive and bad. It's usually triggered by something like someone around me being sick, or if I'm at work and there's other people that have been sick recently, I'll sort of get super paranoid, I guess. But yeah, it hasn't been too bad lately. It's a good thing. I'm hoping it doesn't flare up anytime soon. But yeah, emetophobia affects my relationships. Well, I mean, I don't really have that many social ties. I guess I just have my husband. So I guess that affects my relationship with him in the sense that I try to make sure that he holds up to some level of hygiene that I do, like washing your hands as soon as you get home, washing your hands before you eat. I know sometimes I get a little bit too naggy for him and it makes him frustrated, so I just try to step back a little bit sometimes, but sometimes it's hard for me to like see him eat with his fingers without washing his hands, or like putting his fingers on his mouth or something like that, because basically if he gets sick, then that means I get sick, because we're around each other a lot. Also, I'm moving into a new apartment in a couple weeks, and as a emetophobic, this concerns me because the prior person living in the apartment I'm moving into, like, what if they were sick recently and like there could be like invisible norovirus germs everywhere, and then what if I like catch it? You know, I think that it's probably an irrational concern for me, but I can't help but feel that kind of worry. Like, I'm afraid that there could be sick germs there. I guess I could always just clean everything, but that's kind of exhausting to have to clean everything all the time. Yeah. I feel kind of bad because I couldn't come up with someone to interview for this week, and I'm just sort of rambling about silly things. But yeah, emetophobia affects my relationship with my husband. It affects my relationship with my husband's family, because I don't really see them a whole lot, even though they don't live far away, mainly due to the fact that I'm kind of busy, you know, to go see them, and also they have a lot of like young kids in their house, and it seems like one of them is always sick with something, so I usually just avoid going there because I'm afraid that I'll get sick from going there, and that's probably not the most rational reasoning, but that's just me, I guess. I also know during like Thanksgiving dinner and Christmas dinner and stuff like that, and whenever I go to like those family potluck things, it makes me really on edge because like I don't know how they prepared the food, or if they've been sick recently, you know, or if they cooked it to the proper temperature, or if they've been using their fingers without washing their hands, which is a legitimate concern for me. So, yeah, I guess this phobia pretty much makes me more isolated in a sense because I avoid certain situations and places. But for starters, I'm kind of more of a reserved, introverted type anyway, so I don't really go out that much to begin with. But this phobia just takes it a step further, I guess, which is, not good. I'm working on it. I guess the only way, I don't really know how to get over this, but I watched someone else's emetophobia YouTube like recently this past week, and they had gotten over it. They had recovered, and they said basically they had a therapist and they just worked on desensitization. I don't know. Honestly, I think if I had to throw up every day for a year, maybe I'd become desensitized to it. Like, it wouldn't be this, like, scary foreign experience that seems, like, dangerous and terrifying, Honestly, I just don't know I don't really remember too well what it feels like to throw up, and I don't really know why I'm so scared of it. Like, sometimes I'm just like, it's basically just your stomach contents coming out the wrong end, and like, why is that so terrifying? But tracing back to my earlier years, I think it's just sort of like when I was a young kid and I got sick with it, with the stomach flu. It was a really gross experience, and the sickness was really uncomfortable, and then I grew to, like, be afraid of it or have this strong, like, I don't know the right word to say, but I was just kind of scared of throwing up while I was a kid, and then every time someone around me would throw up as a kid, I guess I had panic attacks, but I didn't realize what panic attacks were. I just felt like I was dying. So, like, I mean, growing up and sort of having that sort of view on sickness and on vomiting, and then carrying that into adulthood, maybe that explains why I'm, like, the way I am. But yeah, enough of my rambling for now. I apologize, I didn't have anyone to interview this week. Bummer. But yeah, I guess that's it for me. I guess I'll see you guys next week. Thanks for watching.